We have prepared a few tips for you that will help you to be more confident when contacting officials. Tip 1. Find information. Study the structure of your city, village, neighborhood government. Find out who governs specific policies, laws, and regulations. Get their names and contacts. Look online for any available information. Maybe even research the structure of the organization to identify the actual decision makers. Try to arrange a meeting with them to provide them with the information that they'll need. Communicate your project ideas up front. Your project idea may not be received the best at a council meeting without any prior communications. You can meet them for coffee or during various events to start the conversation. Tip 2. Prepare a project description. County and state officials are usually very busy with their respective responsibilities. So prepare a brief and clear description of your project. Create a simple handout, PowerPoint, or graphic that is concise but detailed. Maybe send it via email initially, or print out several copies to hand out in person. Most likely, government officials don't need preliminary information about the project before discussing it with you in person. Like we mentioned during grant writing, have someone review your project description before sending it out. Make sure your description is comprehensive. Don't write things like, "I want to paint a mural on Main Street with my friends on Friday." People who are going to read your description should not be left with additional questions. Your description should answer the following. What is the name of the project? Who is the organizer of the project? Where do they work or study? You should provide contact information. What exactly is going to be done? What is your project? Where will it happen? When will it happen? If it is more than one day event, give them a time period. Who is involved in the project? And who will be attending? Who else is supporting your project? Why should they care? Why is it important? What can the officials do, and if possible, what can they get out of supporting you? The more organized and detailed you are from the beginning, the easier each step becomes. For instance, if you plan to paint a mural, make sure that you attach a design outline. If you want to organize a festival, attach a schedule and the lineup. Even if you want to plant trees, list how many and where. Additionally, list all of your partners. Include the names of the organizations that support your project. If you've already made arrangements with media or news, write who will be covering your event. Avoid new fancy words or professional jargon. Leave that for your social media. You'll want the officials to understand exactly what you mean. Using familiar terms will establish better rapport and increase your chance of getting the necessary approvals and permissions. It's not only you who has the stereotypes about state officials. People who work in the government are also used to citizens writing in to complain, criticize, or protest. So if you come to them with a well-designed project and a collaborative intent of improving the area, you're much more likely to receive the feedback you want. You may even find new partners for your project. Tip 3, invite an expert. If your project is to construct a stage at the local park, it would be beneficial to have an engineer or an architect on your team. Only design professionals can speak as to what's needed to guarantee the structural integrity of the stage. At the same time, it would help you to better understand the complexity of work. The more you understand, the better you can plan. Tip 4, assign a responsible party. Think ahead who will be responsible for the maintenance of your facility in the future. Who will be responsible for its appearance, renovation, or demolition? If the city doesn't agree to take responsibility for the maintenance, you can always assign yourself and your team. You don't want to work on this project for the rest of your life. You're building it to be sustainable, and one of the best ways to sustain a community project is through the support of your local government. Tip 5, approve everything in advance. Have all your ducks in a row. Think about all the necessary permissions and approvals ahead of time. It's better to start preparing them several months before the project. Make sure you keep track of your requests and letters to the authorities. That way you can easily find them in case you need to resend or refer to them when discussing the formalities of your project. Tip 6, be open and inclusive. Even if your event is small and you do not need to coordinate it with the authorities, you can still invite government representatives. This way, you will build connections, network, and make a positive impression. In the future, the mayors and commissioners will recognize you and your name. Remember, conduct research, gather all the necessary information about the city or village authority, and find out what procedures are needed. Prepare a clear and concise description for the officials. If you're building something, invite an architect or an engineer to join the discussion. Think about who is going to be responsible for maintenance in the future. Be ready to collaborate with others who are interested in your project. Keep in mind deadlines and prepare things ahead of time. Avoid conflict. Be polite and friendly in every situation. Now it's time to complete your tasks in the practical guide. Good luck with your next lesson, where you'll learn how to promote your project.